need to have an objective, a strategy, and then a tactic. Hi, I am Lenise Collier. I am the owner of Collier Boutique Inc., the Black in Fashion Podcast, LC Apparel Consulting, and the Black Girls Designer Club not-for-profit. So today I wanted to discuss with you guys basically rebranding versus rebuilding. In the course of having multiple businesses, I have went through multiple different strategies on what is best for the business. Sometimes you need to pivot, sometimes you need to re-strategize, sometimes you need to rebrand, or you need to rebuild. Currently right now we are rebranding Black in Fashion Podcast to now be Black in Fashion Media. So the shift and the change was because what we wanted to do is make sure that we let people know that Black in Fashion is not just a podcast, it's a movement. It's a platform and it has resources for Black emerging creatives and designers so that they have everything they need when it comes to coaching, mentorship, business building, all of these things. So our new rebranding will include multiple things. First off, we're gonna make sure we get you guys some Black in Fashion merch. So we talking t-shirts, bucket hats, hoodies, and stuff like that so that you can wear your things proudly and be a part of the Black in Fashion movement. Another thing that we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be launching Black in Fashion Mag. So we're gonna do this on a seasonal basis because why in fashion? We got our spring, we got our summer, we got our fall, and our winter. And in the magazine, we'll have different highlights. We'll do designer spotlights. We'll make sure we focus on business education. We're gonna have a trend corner. We're gonna do a lot of different segments that you can get used to, even having a Black Beauty and the Beauty of the Week, just like Jet back in the day. So we're grabbing resources and pulling information from Jet and Ebony and Essence and, reading a lot of different books when it comes to journalism. So when it comes to rebranding and rebuilding, the best thing that you can do is do research first. Do research on a particular market, especially when you're hopping into a market that you may not be familiar with. Like, I know how to write, of course, but I'm not a journalist. I've never had a magazine before, but what I know is that I have something to say. I have stories to tell. So in order for me to do that effectively, research is required. So looking at old statistics, looking at the way layouts were built, looking at all the different things that were included in the magazines. Another thing we want to do is, of course, we want to keep the conversation going. But instead of having necessarily like a sit-down podcast, we're pretty much taking it to the streets. So we're going to do this segment called Street Talk. So Street Talk is events, networking, activations, when you're going out. We're gonna just talk to people that are Black in fashion, creative spaces, and we're gonna always be equipped with our microphones and ready to go and ready to interview right on the drop of the dime. Why? Because that makes for the best content, Being able to have raw, uncut conversations that are not planned out. But also, if I see someone that has on a great look, I wanna be able to talk to them about how you're feeling, because people dress the way they feel. And then a lot of times we are in transit. We're on our way somewhere. So this segment we think is going to be really, really dope, because we're able to get just real live people, and talking to them in the moment, which is going to be amazing. So another thing that we're going to also be doing is events. Black in fashion needs to have events. There has to be a community space where people can come and learn from one another, network from one another, get each other's information, and start to build up collaborations and partnerships. So we're going to be, of course, continuing our Black Ass Friday, which we are bringing back, which is going to be the day after Thanksgiving, of course. It's going to be a pop-up that we do annually. Another thing we're going to do is our Juneteenth panel and networking event. That's going to be right here at LC Studios, where we're going to give a lot of information and just have different panels and stuff like that. Another thing that we're going to do is the Black in Fashion Ball. We're going to do that during Fashion Week every year. So it gives you a chance to get dressed, hit the red carpet, and then, of course, at some point, we're going to also be giving away awards to Black creatives at the ball. So I hope you guys are excited about our rebrand and our rebuild. And if you are going to be rebranding or rebuilding something in your business, the best thing, then the advice I can always offer is, first, create an outline. Second, create a brand deck that visually shows exactly what you're going for, because that way, if you need partners or collaborators or contributors, you can reach out to them. Another thing that you're going to want to do is just excellent research on how you're shifting and how you're pivoting. That's going to be the best way. I would say rebrand first, because to rebuild, you got to have a plan. So the rebranding aspect helps you create the plan. So you have, okay, what am I going to exactly do with these rebrand? What is the purpose of this rebrand? Is it to increase sales? Is it to increase conversion? Is it to have more visibility? Is it all of these things? So you definitely want to rebrand first, so that way you have a plan. So pretty much anytime you do anything, you should think about it this way. You need to have an objective, a strategy, and then a tactic. Building is the tactic. It's the actual steps that it actually takes to get it done, whereas branding is the objective and the strategy. So always think about those three pillars: objective, strategy, tactic. Because of the economy. You definitely want to keep up with what's going on around you. You definitely want to fulfill a customer need. So customer needs and demand and forecasting is the real reason why people have to rebrand. How you start is not always how you finish. So if you've been doing something the same way for, let's say, 5 or 6 years and you're still getting the same results and you want something different, that might be time for you to actually rebrand. So the main thing is wanting to try something different, wanting to pivot for a different goal. So as a business owner, your goals change. Also, you might want to make more money, so that requires a pivot. You might want to, build different things within the business. So that is ideally the reason why you would do that. Comment Black in Fashion if you're ready to see this rebrand, okay? I hope that was informational. Make sure you guys look out for us. And if you see us on the street, don't be afraid to talk to us. Peace out.